The real reason we have a male loneliness epidemic is because marriage was DEI for men. There are so many men who are single now who 50 or 60 years ago, a woman would have settled and married.
Damn. She ain't lying, bruh. That's true. That's exactly what the men are saying. We used to be able to get women easily, and we used to be able to get married, and women would settle down, and they wouldn't run the streets until they were 30. All right, they would get married at 20. That she's saying exactly that. Yep.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Oh.
Hey, what's going on, family? This side for No Picks Podcast.
What's up, fam? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
Hey, guys. It's Angie.
Hey, it's Chelsea.
All right, so this is a question I have for... I'm going to ask Chelsea this one. Chelsea.
Okay.
Who is the male loneliness epidemic hurting worse, men or women?
I don't know. Why are you making that face?
No, I'm asking. I mean, I thought you was, if that's... I'll move the ends, right? If that's...
Well, do you think there is one?
Right.
I don't know. I think it's both sides.
You think both sides lose equally?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. What about you, Ange? Who has it worse in this male loneliness epidemic?
Who has it worst?
Yeah.
So I think I would tend to. I didn't know how to look at this when I watched this, so I was just kind of in limbo. But
Right.
I do think that there is an impact on both sides.
Right.
I think that the belief or the fact, quote unquote, that like, oh, women can just, because I know a lot of, like, you guys say it all the time, like, men, it's hard for them to like find partners and all of that, but a woman can just go outside like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because pretty much a guy is going to be with any woman. But as a woman, I don't see it that way, right? Because I don't know where.
No. We say you can find sexual partners, but like being with a guy you want to be with, married, and all that shit, that's a different conversation. We feel it, but as far as having sex, you can definitely have sex with damn near any dude you want. Now it may not be, in the most public
a guy that I want.
Yeah, but you can, like, niggas is you can get dick. Like it's not that difficult, right? For women anyway, because you have a vagina. That's like a treasured commodity. But anyway, keep going with your thing.
Okay, but yeah, so okay. So we're not talking about just sexual here then. So yeah, I would say it has its difficulties on both sides, I would say.
So you can't pick one who loses more than the other. It's both equally. They both lose equally.
I mean, yeah, I'm saying you want us to answer so you can just shoot us down.
Yeah, like he wants us to be like.
I don't want to answer so you can just shoot you down. Like,
well, I disagree.
No,
you're fucking stupid.
Listen,
wholeheartedly,
here's why.
I'm just trying to get the full scope of what you guys believe. That's it. Before I get my drum. So I have my opinion. But and I know Joe has his opinion. So before we give our opinions, I figure I figure where y'all stand. So y'all stand basically, both of us lose equally is in the equation.
I'm gonna say that because I want to hear the support of either side, and then I probably could cast another.
Okay, I feel you. All right, what you think, Joe?
So my take on this has changed a little bit, right? I do believe that. I don't know. I feel like the male loneliness epidemic has shifted, right? I think at one point I definitely felt like there were men who were struggling to find intimate relationships, intimate partners, men who felt like they were invisible. And I think now we're shifting more towards men aren't lonely, they're alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, men aren't lonely. They're just alone. Men are just kind of like grinding, stacking up bread on their purpose, partaking in their hobbies, because the dating pool has become so toxic that they're just fatigued. They're tired of it. And they're just like, yo, I can save money and keep my peace of mind if I just opt out and just work on myself, right? So part of me feels like this male epidemic of loneliness is like shifting to like men are just choosing to just be alone, like actually choosing to be alone. Like, no, I'm good, right? Okay. However, if the framework is, who does it hurt the most as far as this loneliness epidemic? Women. I think women get hurt the most, honestly. I really, really do. I think, and this is generally speaking, I feel like There's no one there to court you. There's no one there to take you out and pay for your meals. There's no one out there to give you that validation that some women need. There's no one to give you the compliments. No one to give you that attention that you need at the club. No one to buy you that drink at the bar. No one to. I feel like when you remove men from the dating pool, like in that way, in such a big way, I think women are going to feel that way more than men will. In my honest opinion, I think it hurts them more. I do.
Yeah.
I definitely do. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know
Right.
how it plays out in real life.
So this is how I see it.
Here he
Right.
comes.
Oh
So-
boy, here we go.
I feel like I agree with everything that Joe said, but I feel like I could.
Well, you
want to
agree with what I say too, because I fucking gonna blow your mind. All right. So my thing is this. I think the only group that benefits in the male loneliness epidemic is the 20%. The 20% of men.
That's true.
So that's the only group that really benefits, right? But
It's
the
true.
women think they benefit because they're getting the access to the men that they want, the 20%. So 100% of, or it's like 90% of women are getting access to this 20% of men. Now it's at different levels, right? It's at different degrees, but they're still getting access in some way to the same group of men. The other 80% of dudes are invisible. They overweight, they stink, they broke, like all the things that women despise in men, right? So it's like, okay, cool. Whereas in the past, like the clip mentioned, those dudes would still find suitable wives because the internet wasn't connecting everybody. So the chick in Nebraska that was a 5 would get with Cliff that's a 5 because they both kind of like, all right, well, listen, I'm not that attractive, you ain't that attractive, nigga. This is the best we could do. Let's make a life together. And they would just kind of settle for each other, right? Now the 5 doesn't have to settle for 5 Cliff. Now the 5, let's say Bernadette, or I don't know if I gave her name before, but let's say Bernadette. Now she can get on Instagram and somebody might hit her up and fly her out to Miami. They might fly her out to Chicago,
Dubai.
Dubai. They might fly her to Dubai, and now she has get the taste of this the good life from with the 20%, the 20% dudes that's able to fly you out, that's able to do this and that. Now she comes back to Nebraska and she's like, I'm not dealing with Cliff. Like Cliff is gross. I'm used to dealing with Tyrone, who just put me on a boat.
But Tyrone also sent her back home because he got what he wanted, and now it's over. So,
yeah, but she has a taste of the good life now.
But now that's the bar.
That's the bar.
You see what I'm saying? Like a man, if hypothetically, if I was out there and Rihanna gave me a shot, I know she's married. I'm saying hypothetically she was single and Rihanna was like, Joe, come on. Right? For me, I'm like, I would go tell my boys, damn, I had Rihanna for one night, right? However, I'm not going to go and say every other woman now that I meet has to be a Rihanna. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know I had that moment, but that's not my bar. My bar is not that high. I just got lucky as hell in that moment, right? Okay. For women, if she sleeps with Drake, every nigga better have Drake money. Yeah. Every man has to have clout and have that bread and be able to buy bottles and pick and fly. You see what I'm saying? Like, generally speaking, their bar, that bar gets set, and every man has to live up to that bar now. That's the problem that some women have.
And it's funny that Joe literally said Drake because there's a chick on Kendra G singles. I don't know if we reacted to this or not, but she's literally saying out her mouth, yo, Drake hit me up on Instagram. Now you got to be at Drake level or above.
Right. Right.
You remember? Maybe we reacted to that. Maybe we.
I don't remember, but Drake makes sense.
Up on Instagram, and he was trying to chill with me. I flee Drake. I said, "No, Drake." Now, my fucking bar is Drake in above. So
right.
Drake and basically like 8 other niggas in the world. Like so it's like
right.
Who do you think you're gonna like?
All right. So
right.
So all right. Little caveat, because a part of me is saying, I hear what y'all are saying, and it's like, okay, you and like you said, Tyrese, now you got a choice of Drake plus 8, right? What are the chances? But let's scale it down to our levels, right? Like not extreme like Drake. Let's say Sarah, right? Sarah is used to or has been in relationships with guys who she feels like, I don't know, like she goes out and she's used to going Dutch, right? When she goes out. This is one simple example, Tyrese. Please don't chew me up. She's used to going Dutch, right? So in her mind and in her experiences, Dutch is the way to go, right? She meets, I don't know, Derek. Derek starts treating her, right? And she's like, holy shit. Who knew that this was an option, right? Is she wrong now for expecting that because her experience has presented her to something that is actually a thing?
Go ahead.
Is she wrong for feeling like I should be treated to dinner? Not that going Dutch is wrong, but now that's added to my portfolio. So it's like you see what I'm trying to say here? It's
I see what you're saying. Can I take a stab at it, Ty? I know Ty probably has
I'm
lots
just
to say.
asking. I'm not.
No. So I'm gonna say you're
saying.
not wrong. No. So that's a great question, right? And I'll say this to the ladies: no, if you were in that situation hypothetically, you would not be wrong. If so, were you? So you're not wrong for wanting that, right? You can want that, but there's two things: one, do you qualify for it? And two, are you going into a relationship with that sense of entitlement? Because when men get that sense of entitlement coming from you, that's when we don't want to do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I naturally believe that, generally speaking, men want to be that Prince Charming. Men want to be the protector, the provider. They want to do all that. They want to be able to provide and pay for things. You know, men aspire to be that man, right? So if we got it, you got it. However, if you lead with, all right, you got to send me a cash app before I go on a date with you. If you lead with, we going to Cheesecake Factory, who go to Cheesecake Factory? If we lead, you see what I'm saying? So it depends on the attitude that you bring in. Yeah. We might not even ask you to go Dutch. If you reach for your wallet, for me, if a shorty was to reach for her wallet when the bill came, I'd be like, no, I got you, sweetheart. But I would make a note of that though. Like, damn, it's the gesture that for me leaves the greatest impact, right? To know that she almost thought about it, but I'm gonna be like, no, shorty, I got you now. You with me. You see what I'm saying? The entitlement is what kills it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Listen, I can't even elaborate anymore. Like that's what kills me. Like that.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm surprised, right?
Here's another question, and it's just me taking stabs at just to play devil's advocate.
No, please ask.
So, you mentioned qualified.
Yeah.
Because Derek did it, doesn't that make Sarah now qualified?
No, because Derek might have been a simp.
Oh, who?
A simp.
Tell me more.
Me and Ty aren't accustomed to paying for Kitty, so we don't know what that life is like, right? Yeah. Like that's a different lifestyle for men who have to pay to play. That hasn't been our experience.
He's on a date. We didn't.
No, I don't know. But what I'm saying is he maybe might have done that because he either felt like he needed to, because maybe he did. It depends, right? Context really matters. But like he might have seen maybe I don't know, something in him wanted him to do that. However, I'm telling you that not all women qualify for that. No. They don't. And we've told our men here in the community, traditional women get traditional treatment. And I stand on that. Yes. All my fellas in our community, in our family, traditional women get traditional treatment. If she's anything other than that, we can go Dutch. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Like, you can't expect me to be masculine and be traditional when you're not feminine and traditional. You see what I'm saying? That's hypocritical. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's why I said you have to qualify for that. Right. You have to.
Yeah, like the chicks that be like, oh, you know.
So who's gonna let Sarah know, like, hey, that shit Derek did?
No. Niggas just not going to take her serious. Niggas just gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. I'll send a check in the mail. Like dudes aren't gonna waste our time. Dudes aren't gonna waste our time with that. We just gonna move on, and it's just gonna be a story that we tell every once in a while.
Yeah, and Angie, I'll tell you right now, we tell our men, if you broke, you shouldn't be dating anyway, right? Like, we're talking about men who are out there actually looking to play the game, looking to find either a situationship or somebody serious, right? If you are broke, I sound like Cardi B, broke don't deserve no kitty. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't even be dating if you ain't got your finances in order. So we always tell men, if you out there broke, talking about, well, maybe I can pay this, or maybe you can go half on that. You shouldn't even be out there dating. You should be worried about stacking up your bread instead of spending paper you don't have. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about men who are serious and have resources and can pay that date and can do that. You know what I mean? Men with means. Yeah.
Let me say this real quick before we end this, Jerome. If women are out here laughing like ha ha, like this chick in the video, like basically like ha ha, male loneliness epidemic, ha ha, you're not winning out the epidemic. You're just you're one of the chicks fucking the 20%. Like you're not benefiting from the situation. Like. The more people that men feel like, the more people in the pool, more men in the pool is better for women, because they're like, okay, you know what, this nigga's really attractive, he might got some money and all that, but he a fuck nigga, so I'm gonna fuck with the boy that's maybe not that attractive and maybe not taking money, but he's nice to me. You feel what I'm saying? So now the 20% like niggas is like, okay, I can do with literally whatever the fuck I want because they're not gonna deal with them niggas anyway.
Yeah.
And they
This is bad. This is a really bad problem, ladies. And I'm not just talking to Chelsea and Angie, but any women who watch our videos. Like, this is a problem that women have created, right? This one you can't blame on us. You have given the men who are at the top, as far as either genetics, aesthetics, or finances, or both, you have given them basically all the options right now. And they are running through all the women who are out there playing the game because all the women generally speaking, want that man. And they have all the options at the top. This is a problem that women have created now. So now these men can be narcissistic, they can be buttholes, they can be unfaithful, they can do whatever the hell they want because of this situation that I honestly feel like women have created, not men. We didn't push for hookup culture. We weren't the ones screaming "my body, my choice." We weren't the one wanting sexual liberation. Right. Granted, we weren't the ones that were repressed throughout history. That's a different conversation. We weren't sexually repressed, but we weren't the one pushing for these movements. And so now we have what we have now, which is the hookup culture, which is the situationships, which is my body, my choice, which is sexual liberation is empowerment. So now y'all have that. But now all the men who win from that are the men who women find the top 20% of men. They have a harem of women now. You see what I'm saying? This is a problem that women have created now. And it's very real, whether we acknowledge it or not. This is the game that we're in now. That's why we say most men are just invisible because everybody's going for that top dude. All the dude on Tinder with all that is getting all the swipes. And all the average Joes ain't getting nothing.
But let me ask you a question. When's the last time y'all heard, well, you know, he don't got this, he don't got that, but he's nice? You don't hear that shit no more. You don't hear that phrase no more. Like, you don't be like, yo, he's a nice guy. Like, you.
I hear being a good guy isn't enough. That's what I hear.
I literally just had a conversation with my coworker. She was talking about the father of her older daughter versus the relationship that she's in now. And she was talking about how she doesn't get, like, he don't just pass her off money to go shopping and do all of that because he was getting money the fast way and all of that. She's like, I don't get all those things. And, like, yes, we are, like, trying to figure it out financially, but he's not cheating on me. He's not taking advantage of me. He's a nice, like, literally, this is the conversation that I just had not even 24 hours ago. So, yes, I do agree.
Right. No. That, and I listen. If your man comes home every night, he is yours. And I understand that some people are like, that's just the bare minimum. Well, guess what? A lot of people don't have that.
Okay.
So if he's coming home, he's yours. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, we can talk. Oh, that's just the bare minimum. Okay, but like, let's be real. In the game and the way things are right now, that's huge. He's coming home to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is big. That's your man. So I mean, that's real. That's real.
One of 100 websites. Anyway, listen, let us know what y'all think, baby. Like, comment, subscribe, and listen, keep the gender war going because there's only one group.
No, man, I hate the gender war.
There's a little teeny tiny group of men crushing the game. And listen, City Boys up. City Boys up. All right.
That's one of the 20.
Let us know what y'all think, baby. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.